Let me ask you a question. Have you ever sacrificed a weekend or family time to get ahead on work? Unfortunately, this was a very familiar narrative in my life. And even though it catapulted me to the top of the corporate ladder, at what cost? Working around the clock, sometimes even dragging my feet, not really taking care of myself, of my well being. Eventually, I end up burnt out in the worst possible way. And I don't mean the way that is being used in social media today, like in just being tired. Mm-mm. I mean burnout as in almost dying. For me, the cause of my success was not only monetary, but it was also a significant personal collapse. The nest I built to protect me in my golden years, retirement, flipped upside down all of a sudden in front of my eyes with everyone and everything inside of it. After I had to quit my job on a life or death decision, literally, I found that not only my career as I knew it was over, but my relationships were crumbling. And oh, yes, my bank account was going the wrong direction. But why? What happened? Why me? Growing up with a single workaholic mom who taught me from a very young age that hard work was the only path to financial stability and therefore happiness, I sure internalized those words in my heart because I wanted to be happy. And in fact, I'm pretty sure they were tattooed in my soul with indelible ink. And it was this mindset coupled with my type A personality and Enneagram 8 traits as a proud achiever and a challenger that led me to self sabotage my life completely. However, it wasn't until I was forced to attend an addiction recovery class that I truly began to see the parallels between my behaviors at work and the habits of people with substance abuse issues. Both behaviors are underpinned by a chemical reaction in the brain, particularly involving dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to pleasure and reward. You mean the happy hormone. This understanding opened my eyes to how workaholism triggers dopamine production similarly to how addictive substances do. For workaholics, each achievement acts like a hit, reinforcing the behavior and making the cycle harder, if not impossible, to break. As I delve deeper into my own behaviors, it became clear to me that my experience was not an isolated incident, but rather a symptom of a global, widespread issue. This was my turning point that led me to question how much of our drive for success is fueled not by genuine passion or goals, but by a biochemical dependency on work in those dopamine rushes. After pondering on this question for a while, I realized that I am, yes, still today, addicted to success and a recovering workaholic. Workaholism is an addiction and it is often celebrated in our society. You can see it in the relentless hustle, the praise for overtime, and the demands of constant connectivity. Yet, beneath those traits, ingrained in our corporate culture, lies the hidden epidemic impacting not just individuals like you and me, but entire organizations and, quite frankly, the economy. The saddest part, this is not new. It was first explored by Wayne Oates in his book, Confessions of a Workaholic. Are you ready? In 1971. This work helped articulate the serious implications of what many saw as the dedication of one's job shedding light on the addictive aspects of workaholism that continue to resonate today. Also, there's so much research highlighting that today, as much as 57% of employees check emails on weekends. I mean, who can relate? And 30% check emails through the night. Guilty? And this indicates a pervasive overengagement with work that bypasses healthy boundaries. In addition, other studies also show that a significant majority of workers take work home, failing to disconnect from everything, showcasing how widespread and normalized workaholism has become. The toll of workaholism on individuals include not only job-related stress and negative effects, but also serious health risks like chronic burnout, like happened to me, high blood pressure leading to cardiovascular diseases, and all sorts of stress-related conditions. These health issues often result in not only higher medical costs, but also loss of income and reduced quality of life. Now, for companies, the repercussions of workaholism aren't pretty either. They reflect in decreased productivity and heightened financial burdens. And despite how excited you might be for the long hours your exempt employees are putting in for free, the efficiency of workaholics is unsustainable and it leads to a fall in overall productivity. Besides the health issues that are associated with excessive work, they will lead to increased absenteeism and turnover rates. When your employees face burnout due to excessive workaholism, like I did, entire teams suffer, disrupting the workplace and reducing overall organizational efficiency. Furthermore, it tanks the economy. And as we recognize the hidden costs of workaholism, it becomes clear that addressing it is not just my personal priority, but a societal necessity. And when individuals, leaders, and organizations have the awareness and the tools to identify and mitigate work as an addiction, we all win. The $1 million question that I hope you're pondering on by now is whether or not you are a workaholic or maybe just a hard worker. And knowing the difference is very important. And that's why today I want to share with you the 5 key distinctions between being a hard worker and being a workaholic. So you can start identifying unhealthy patterns in yourself and your team members, if there is any, and start making the necessary adjustments to create a healthier relationship with work. As a general theme, fundamentally, the difference lies in the way you engage with your work. What are your motivations and the impact it has in your overall well being and life balance? That's why this is where we're going to start, considering and trying to understand whether or not your motivation and intent reflects the ones of a workaholic. Hard workers, on one hand, are driven by positive goals and the satisfaction of a job well done. However, workaholics often work because they are driven by a flawed belief system, like I did, internal pressures, and anxiety when not working. So I want you to ask yourself, have you ever felt an impulse to check your emails on a weekend just because? Hmm. This could be a sign of anxiety driven work habits rather than a healthy motivation. The second thing I want you to look at is the impact that your work is having on your health and well being. While hard workers maintain a balance, somehow workaholics fail to do that. They neglect their personal health. They may skip meals, sacrifice sleep, or ignore signs of physical exhaustion and burnout. I want you to check with yourself. Do you regularly work through lunch or neglect your health due to work demands? The next aspect is to evaluate your relationships. Hard workers manage to balance their professional responsibilities and their personal lives. In contrast, workaholics' relationships often suffer because work takes precedent over time with family and friend, and it is not conscious. So reflect on this. Are you fully present during family time, or is your mind working 24/7? Number four is your work life balance. Hard workers find time for hobbies and relaxation. Go figure. Workaholics, however, often view leisure activities as a waste of time, which can lead to guilt when taking time off. So, self assessment time. When you go on vacation with your family, do you feel guilty if you're not working? Do you feel you have to bring your laptop with you? Hmm. And last but not least, number five, let's evaluate your job satisfaction and joy. Hard workers feel a sense of fulfillment at the end of a project. On the other hand, workaholics often experience only a temporary high, quickly replaced by the urge to jump into the next thing as soon as possible. So consider this. Does your satisfaction from completing work quickly fade, pushing you immediately to ask for more work? Now, be honest with yourself. Did any of these traits resonate with you? Or maybe you thought of someone in your team that's displaying signs of workaholism. Both organizations and individuals have ownership in balancing productivity and well being. And here are some recommendations for you. First, let's start with organizations. Adopting policies that promote work life balance is key. That's what I'm asking you today, to envision a policy where employees are encouraged to fully disconnect during the time off, and perhaps even a no email after certain time policy. As a leader, consultant, and coach, I've seen firsthand the positive financial impact of these strategies. Now, for individuals, I invite you to modify your daily work routine. Try to integrate effective time management techniques with mindfulness practices because it has shown to reduce stress and enhance your productivity. I also invite you to set clear professional boundaries. And I know this is hard, but it's necessary to protect your personal time, allowing you to be able to get R&R, which means rest and recovery in this case. Take proactive steps towards a healthier work-life balance by do a personal audit of your work habits and reflect how are they impacting your life. You can literally make a spreadsheet about it. And why not? Engage in an open dialogue with your peers and leadership about how can we make work a healthier, more balanced place. Let's not wait for the symptoms to worsen. It's time to act now, to redefine our work cultures and personal lives so that we can measure success not by the professional achievements only, but by your ability to enjoy them with a balanced, fulfilling life. Let's stand together against workaholism because it is the thief of happiness. It seduces you with the promise of success, but it robs you of the very life it promises to improve. Thank you.